One of the biggest success stories I've had this year, until now, the biggest, was this particular client of mine. Before he was working for a local company, now he works for a multinational. Before he had a particular position, which was, I think, 1 or 2 levels junior to his actual capacity. Now he has got the right designation which matches his qualifications and experience. And before he was earning, say example, $10,000. Now he's actually earning double, 2x, more than 2x actually, plus benefits. Now when I shared this, obviously there are critics who don't believe, but for the people who know me and the people who know this guy, it was the biggest success story, because it's not easy. Let me tell you this, it is not easy getting double the salary. It's a very competitive market. There are a lot of variables. There's a lot of hard work. And this happened in 6 months. And because of the amount of pressure and the target that we put, there were many days where my client actually cried. I'm not joking. Grown-ass man, sobbing and crying because failure, or I shout at him, or he makes a mistake, or he fumbles at an interview, or misses out on an opportunity. So it was a very tough process, but we did it. I would give him credit because he was a good student, he learned, and he took it to heart. He believed in the process. So when I shared this story with the members in my group, one of them, who's my well-wisher, he said, "Sir, if you don't mind, can you share some more stories, because it inspires some of us?" I said, "Okay, I'll do that." And then, out of the blue, he also said, "Sir, can you share some failure stories? Don't feel bad, sir. Can you share some stories where people have failed, taken your coaching, but not succeed?" I said, "Definitely, why not? I mean, not every person that I coach achieves a high watermark or a high pedestal, or, achieves their dream." So this is in request to that member. Obviously, I'll not be giving you specifics, names and all that, but I'll give you the gist. So the first success story was this. First, let me do success, then I'll give you the failures. The second success story was this particular female. She came to me with her husband for coaching, and she wanted a better job, better position, even the husband. This is in Dubai, my days in Dubai. And so I said, okay, fine. But very soon, and I made a video on this long time ago. This client of mine was nearly, I think, 10 years now. So what had happened was, they came to me for coaching. They both wanted better career. But then, coaching or mentoring is a very intimate process, whereby you dig deep into the psyche of the person. You find out their wants, likes, dislikes, the bad, good, ugly. And very soon they open up to you. They trust you. And very soon I found out that this marriage was very toxic for the female. The guy was cheating on her. The guy was taking money. He was not working. And his job was hardly paying anything, and he was depending on her, and his family was also exploiting her. And she was a responsible person in the house of the two, and she was all taking care of the kid. But this guy was just he was just enjoying himself and feeding off like a leech, like a parasite. He was taking her money and all that, and funding his, girlfriend also. So by point blank, I told both of the, first I told her, you have to break up, which she didn't want to, but because she genuinely believed in my coaching, she decided to apply for a divorce, and we thought he wouldn't accept. He was very happy, but he demanded cash, a large sum of money, which she was ready to pay. And the divorce went on because they were both amicable. But remember, Indian divorce takes around 7 years at least. So they applied for it. He stopped my coaching, and obviously his character and his style didn't match what I wanted in a student. Like, he just wanted easy life and not work hard, but big salary. And he bought his girlfriend, hot female, really hot female, young, but she was another like bimbo. She's not working hard, and she had an attitude and all that. And I'm pretty sure he must have given him great sex. That's why he was so addicted to her. Anyway, that was his life. So they got divorced. Through my coaching, she did get a job. However, after a year or so, there were problems where she had to cancel the job. She took my advice. She went back to India from Dubai, then came back on a visit visa. We worked very hard, very, very hard. And yeah, obviously, she paid me extra for that. And soon she got a job. But unfortunately, see, this is where life is unpredictable. The second job, better salary, but the boss turned out to be worse. So finally she realized maybe Dubai was not for her. So we looked at different option, any other country in the Middle East. Finally she decided, why not I try India, where she came from. So once again we worked, and finally she got a job as a VP, Vice President, in a very good company. And next thing you know is, through long distance coaching, she got stationed in Europe. She did very well over there. And that is where our coaching started, it became tough to continue, but she would be in touch with me. And finally, when there was another position for USA, she took my coaching more seriously again. For I think 2-3 months, there were interviews and this and that. And now today she's settled down in the US. But getting a citizenship, you know how hard it is. But her son has also gone there. So this was the second success story. The third success story that I can share with you is, this is very close to my heart, and this was before I became a coach or mentor. Long story short, Indian guy, from a very poor family, very poor. I mean, I was working as a marketing manager for this IT-based company. And, I was a rough, tough guy, and I was to take charge of the HR, the interviews and all that. So most of these guys, and this also I made a video before, most of these guys who came there were, wearing suits and jackets. Whenever I used to have the interview, I used to take like 10, 15 or 20 guys in a room and eliminate one by one and give them rounds. So obviously you would, in one day, finally decide who's the best. So we were having this interview, my style, where you have 20 guys and you look at their CVs, you eliminate one by one, group discussion, all that. When we had finished the first round, and some people were asked to leave, this guy came in. And mind you, everyone else is wearing a suit. This guy comes in just shirt and tie, but fully drenched in sweat. And I was like, yes, who are you? It was a conference room. He said, sir, I'm sorry I came late. He said, so I missed the bus, and then the second bus broke down. And this was in Dubai, so it's very hot. But sir, please, I said, no, I'm sorry, if you come late, no excuse. He said, sir, you're right. I remember this. He said, sir, you're right. But I will prove it to you, sir, that I'm the candidate that you want. Sir, just give me an opportunity. I'll stand here, sir. You can test me right now. And if you say that I'm not good, I'll leave. So the owner of the company was there. He was looking at me as like, let him. And what I liked was, this guy was not willing to give up. So I said, okay, come in. And I told him to sit, even though he wanted to stand. To the surprise of everyone, Everyone else was wearing a suit and everyone well presented. This guy sweating with a tie and all that. His English was not that good. And then when I asked, he managed to survive till the final interview. Final interview, I think there were 3 or 5 guys, not too sure. But I can definitely say there were 3, because in the end I asked, why should I take you? Why should I take you? You know, compared to these 2. And there you really have to give an answer. This guy, you know, while the other 2, most of the candidates will normally give you a response. I will show results, I'm hardworking, I'm focused, I'm this, I'm that, my expertise and my track record. This guy, I can't give his name obviously, South Indian. He said, sir, I respect both these guys because they are senior to me, they have more experience, they have more expertise. But sir, what they don't have, which I have, is I have a mother and sisters back home. And we sold our gold. They sold their gold to send me here. And I have to succeed. I'm not going to fail. If you give me a target, the job of sales, if you give me a target, until I achieve the target, I will not come back. Until I achieve the target. I'm like that kind of person. So you saw how I came for the interview. Because I'm not ready to take failure. I'm not ready to take no for an answer. I believe you can get a yes. And sir, I will openly state, if you feel they are better than me, say you take me but you don't pay me a salary, and you put all of us on a target, I will achieve the target no matter what. No matter how hard it is. And if I don't achieve, sir, you don't pay me. He was the only guy who had the guts to say that. If I don't achieve the target, you don't pay me. I was absolutely blown away by this guy. Absolutely blown away. In my life, I never heard anyone with so much fire. So I looked at the owner. Owner looked at me and he said, this guy's good. Finally, we ended up taking him and not the other 2. But that's not where the story ends. This guy started to always come to me for coaching because I was, you know, a Toastmaster, good in English. And he always wanted to learn techniques and sales and this and that. And I took him under my wing. And then one fine day, and remember, this was not paid coaching. For those of you who always ask me, have you always taken paid coaching? So this was not paid coaching. So there was a company in Jabal Ali. It's a free zone, a little far off. So I used to always go there, very far off, spend the whole day there and get good business. One fine day, there was this particular company, which was a regional office, where the head of the company, the owner of the company, white guy, European, he called him for a meeting and said, fine, you want to tell me about your products and services. So because he was a little nervous, he asked me to come. So fine, I came. When we came there, that man was slightly old and, you know, obviously we were talking and he spoke to me. But, you know, given the fact that this guy introduced him, I wanted him to be in the limelight. So I told him, you will deal through him. Because, you know, I had other things to do also. And fine, as to, the problem was he didn't know English so fluently. And this guy was struggling to understand his English. So I said, anytime you don't understand, you can let me know. So as to mentor this guy on how to talk to him and how to deal with him, what to memorize, how to go about. And you will not believe, that relationship blossomed into a kind of a father-son relationship. And he liked the guy so much. Later on, he literally approached our company to take him on board. And he even paid the compensation for headhunting this guy, you know. And my owner anyway he was money-minded. He gets compensation, very happy. He let him go, he transferred his visa. And we continued keeping in touch, where I would keep guiding him. And finally, when this guy decided to close his company, he took this guy to Europe with him. And the last I heard of him was he had made him like a son, made him run this company along with him as his right hand, and he was mentoring and teaching him. And then obviously he lost touch, but he was able to migrate abroad, and his salary was very, very high, because obviously taxation abroad is high. So these are the three most powerful success stories that I can share with you. And to this day, I can tell you all these three, including the first one, very close to my heart, because I know the amount of effort that I put. I know the amount of blood, sweat and tears, and I may not be religious, but they are. How much they cried, and yes, we were able to succeed. Yeah, so this was the success story. Now comes the failures. So get ready for the really bad, ugly failures of my mentoring journey and my leadership as a mentor and coach.